Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with oddsjam, and the NBA is still on their All-Star break, so we are still hammering some NHL bets for today. So yesterday had an awesome day, was up just under $600 with my bets yesterday, which was great. And we're just going to go ahead and hope to keep the streak going alive. I have a ton of picks for you guys today, found using oddsjam, using the recommended filters, making sure that I'm placing bets that are the best of the best. So let's get right into it. Number one, this is actually a total bet. We are locking in Edmonton Oilers versus Colorado Avalanche. It's an alt total under 5.5 plus 185 odds at bet365. So this is a bet that I did lock in, as you can see right here. Lock this one in under 5.5 Oilers Avalanche plus 185 odds. Put 3/4 of a unit on it. So number one, why do we even like this bet? Aside from the fact that it's showing up on the positive EV page. Although I will say real quick before I get started, I try to mention this at the beginning. Sometimes I forget. Would appreciate if you could like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel as I attempt to grow this one. It would help me out a ton. And then you comment, let me know your thoughts, whether you're tailing, fading, whatever that may be. And then, of course, if you want to find me on social media, you can at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, Jedi Modi. All right, now, so aside from the fact that everything shows up on the positive EV page, the importance is derived from these no vig odds that you see right here. So when it comes to sports betting, we see this on the screenshot here, odds for the same exact play, right? It's either going to go over or it's going to go under 5.5. We see odds range from plus 145 all the way up to plus 185. It's a massive gap between these two numbers. And when it comes down to it, some sports books are better than others at pricing odds. Now, I'm not saying that PointsBet is one of those sports books. I'm just saying in general, using this example as just showing you how different the lines can be for the same exact play, some sports books are better than others at pricing odds. So what oddsjam did was backtest thousands and thousands of betting opportunities to determine what sports books are historically the best at pricing odds. And that is what feeds into these no vig odds that you see right here. So oddsjam basically saying, hey, based on the sharpest sports books in the world, this should truly be priced at plus 169. We are getting it all the way up at plus 185. That's value, right? Now, the next question you're going to ask, I can already foresee the future. Why would I bet on this play if it's all the way down at, or excuse me, if it's at plus 185 odds, which you assume has a low win percentage? And that's a good question, and I try to answer this as much as I can. But the goal of sports betting isn't to win the highest percent of your bets. It's a volume game where you're trying to be profitable. So, yes, plus 185 can be a value when the true line of this is priced at plus 169. Another way I like to think about it is all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So if you go to calculators and you go to odds converter calculator, basically what I'm trying to tell you is based on the no vig odds, if you click this calculator here, this is going to win at roughly a 37.17% rate. This is how often this total is going to go under 5.5. And we're betting this at plus 185 odds. So if I go to the odds converter calculator and type in plus 185, it only needs to hit at a 35.09% of the time in order for you to break even. Any number it hits above this number, you will be profitable. And we know, based on the oddsjam perfect line, that it's going to hit at a 37.17% rate, over 2% more than the break-even number. So yes, there's a chance that this individual bet is likely to lose. It has a 63% chance of losing. But if you're placing bets like this over the course of time, it will work out in your favor. Yes, you will have to accept a little bit of variance because placing bets at plus money lowers your win percentage. It also means you don't need to win as many bets. So you could place 100 bets and you win 35 of them. You win 37 of them. You are profiting. So I do get a ton of questions about why would you bet something at plus money? Why don't you just bet the minus odds? And the goal is to be profitable in the long run. These videos are a small sample size. The volume betting game, which is if you follow me on Twitter, you follow me on Pickett, you follow my bet tracker, which you can, it's verifiable, right? It's a public account. Anybody can use the link in the description of the video and access my bet tracker. It's a volume game. So regardless, play number 1, Oilers Avalanche under 5.5 plus 185 odds at bet 365. Next up, and here we have a bunch of different player props. I hammered all of these. I locked in a lot of them on the Canby books. These are all hammered this morning. Matt Duchene over 2.5 shots on goal. First of all, he's got a great first name. You can always trust a guy with that first name. OddsJam perfect line, pricing this at about plus 134. Again, the Canby books, which is Bet Rivers, Barstool, Unibet, Twin Spires, offers this at plus 140. And then what you want to do is just compare the other sports books and where they price it, right? You just want to make sure, you want to confirm that you are betting on an outlier. And this is the work that I do. Every single positive EV bet I place, I literally, if you just click the button, it pulls up where the odds are pricing it. And I confirm that the bet that I'm placing is an outlier. So here we have it. Bet Rivers is at plus 140. Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sports book, down at plus 120. Bet Online plus 118. The only book that's close is DraftKings at plus 130. And every other book has this in the teens. So the reality is, if you just think about this logically, Bet Rivers probably has this mispriced at all the way up at plus 140 is a mispriced line. It should be priced lower than this one with the true line at plus 134. So this is my second play for the day, my first player prop. Matt Duchene over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 140 at Bet Rivers. Next up, another shots on goal, another one on Bet Rivers. And this time it's Ryan and Nugent Hopkins over 2.5 plus 135 odds at Bet Rivers. OddsJam perfect line, pricing this at about plus 130. And same thing here. Bet Rivers at plus 135. FanDuel is the only one that's even mildly close at plus 125. 10 cents below that, 20 cents below Bet Rivers is DraftKings and every other sportsbook, ranging from plus 100 up to plus 115 and then plus 125. Same thing here. We're betting on outliers, and more often than not, it will work out in your favor. Now, I try to mention as often as I can, there's no such thing as a lock. Anybody that tells you non-sarcastically that this bet is a lock is a liar. I've had the best edges in the world. I locked in something at like plus 106. The closing line was in like minus 140. The bet still lost. And I've had the opposite happen where I lock in something at minus 110. The no-vid line goes to plus 120 and it wins. That's just the nature of sports betting. But more often than not, if you can take advantage of plays like this that are clearly outliers, then it's something that will work out. Like I said, since I've been using OddsJam, I'm up over 25K. It's been a rough week overall, up 445, but you can see a lot of some aggressively down days. Now, there's been some great up days as well. Don't get me wrong. And this is one of the worst months that I've had. Like if you look at January, January was amazing. A lot more green than red in January. And the down days, like the worst one I had was down 816. In February, I've had 2 days down over a K. It's just variance. It's just the nature of it. Especially when you're playing plays like these that are plus money. That's why you need to get your volume up to make sure that you can withstand the variance of having days like this. So play number 3, second player prop, Ryan Nugent Hopkins over 2.5 shots on goal. Next up, another shots on goal, another one on Canby because they just have the worst odds for themselves, the best for us. Excuse me, Thomas Chabot under 2.5 shots on goal, plus 125 at Bet Rivers. OddsJam perfect line, pricing this at plus 120. Legitimately, every single sportsbook has this in the plus 100s, right? From plus 100 up to plus 108. No book has this higher than plus 108. This is insane that Bet Rivers has this at plus 125. Insane. Absolutely, this should be taken advantage of. My fourth player prop, my fourth pick for this video, third player prop. Next up, I skipped these two because I didn't like the outlier of them. We got Kirill Kaprizov under 3.5 shots on goal. Again, plus 130, plus money on Bet Rivers. All the Canby books just asleep at the wheel. They went out last night. They stayed up late. They woke up late this morning, sleep at the wheel. Essentially plus 125.5 is the OddsJam perfect line. We are getting this at plus 130. Same thing here. Just look at the odds and how absurd this is. Plus 130 at Bet Rivers. DraftKings and FanDuel plus 114, plus 115. Every other book down the plus 104 and plus 110 range. If you remove the VIG, from every single sports book, this Bet Rivers line is better than the Novig line of legitimately every single sports book that prices it. And that's just insane. If you think about it, that's insane. So this is play number 5, my 4th player prop. And I think I have one more. Yep, one more for you guys. So 6 plays total. Evan Rodriguez under 2.5 shots on goal. Same logic here, plus 130 odds at Bet Rivers. Oddsjam perfect line, pricing this at plus 126. Pinnacle is close, 10 cents lower at plus 120. Every other book, plus 111, plus 110, plus 106, plus 105, blah, blah, blah. Really, really, really good on this play. Evan Rodriguez under 2.5 shots on goal, plus 130 odds at Bet Rivers. And that's it. So if you're still watching this, I appreciate you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on social media, and have a good one.